folks, Eric Stakelbeck here. Welcome to a special Saturday breaking news edition of the Watchman Newscast. Just coming to you down and dirty from my phone because I'm not in the office today. Obviously, it's a Saturday, but this is very important breaking news. You're not here at the end of the day for the bells and whistles. You are here for the content, no matter where it comes from, phone, studio, wherever. So let's get right into it. Big news out of Syria. A reported Israeli precision-guided missile strike has taken out 5 members of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, including one very big fish, the intel chief, the intelligence chief for the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps operations in Syria. His name is Sadiq Omedzada. Israel reportedly in this strike collapsed an entire building in a Damascus suburb, Mazeh, right outside of the Syrian capital of Damascus, collapsed an entire building that this IRGC intel chief and his top deputy and at least 3 other members of the IRGC were inhabiting at the time, no doubt planning future and further terror attacks against the state of Israel. Now, Israel, number one, as is its MO, is neither denying or confirming that it carried out this strike, but secondly, the Iranian regime, no surprise here, folks, is vowing threats of revenge against the state of Israel, blaming the quote-unquote, as they call it, Zionist entity Israel for the demise of these 5 members, including one senior member, at least one senior that we know of so far, of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. And we shall see, folks, if further casualty numbers are released. But as I come to you around 2 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, January 20th, these are the facts as we know it. Again, Israeli precision-guided missile strike in the suburbs outside of the Syrian capital of Damascus. And folks, this fits a pattern, right? If you've been watching the newscast on a regular basis, you know that Israel over the past 3 or 4 weeks, really since Christmas, has been carrying out increasingly daring and bold eliminations, surgical strikes of members of that Iranian axis of evil, that Iranian ring of fire that surrounds Israel on all sides, Hezbollah, Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and the Iranian regime itself have felt the brunt of these Israeli targeted strikes. Now, I want to break down what exactly Israel has done over the past few weeks. But before I do, and also, by the way, some new attacks against U.S. soldiers in the Middle East today carried out by Iranian proxies. But before I get into it, folks, a quick reminder, if you have not subscribed to the Watchman News channel yet, please make sure to subscribe before the day is done and click the notification bell so you get alerts every time a new video is posted. Hey, as you can see today, things are happening at such a rapid clip in the world's most volatile and chaotic region, the Middle East, and it's tough to keep up sometimes, even for us, and I live and breathe this stuff, so we'd love if you can make the Watchman your one-stop shop for all of these events. Join us here every day as watchmen and women on the wall for such a time as this. Okay, let's dig in a little further. We have the strikes today, obviously, a big fish, and apologies if you see my arms move around a little bit. I'm holding the phone up against the wall here. Again, very low tech and low-fi here today on the Watchman, but we needed to bring you this important breaking news. But okay, this all started really back on Christmas Day when Israel eliminated Razi Mousavi. Now, he was really the head. We saw the intel chief for the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps eliminated today, reportedly. But Razi Mousavi, a very big fish on Christmas Day, he was in charge of all of Iran's operations in Syria and solidifying that relationship between the Iranian regime and the Assad regime in Syria. He was taken out on Christmas Day. Shortly thereafter, Saleh al-Aruri, top Hamas leader, was also eliminated by the Israel Defense Forces in a daring strike in the suburbs of Beirut, Hezbollah stronghold, right? That's where Hezbollah lives and breathes. Saleh al-Aruri taken out as well. And then Wissam Tawil, who was a top Hezbollah commander along that Israel-Lebanon border, he was taken out a few weeks ago as well. And we have the strikes today, and we have the strikes yesterday in Tyre and in southern Lebanon, where Hezbollah members were also reportedly taken out. So Israel really is becoming more daring, targeting more high-value targets. And according to Iranian Axis members, Iran's various jihadis, regime members on the ground in Syria, the Israeli strikes have increased since October 7th in their frequency, number one, and number two, in their lethality. Meaning Israel's not just bombing empty missile factories. They are bombing, in the words of one Iranian regime operative, they're bombing to kill in Syria. Now, there have been hundreds of airstrikes carried out by Israel inside Syria over the past several years. But now, folks, the stakes have never been higher because Israel is fighting this war on multiple fronts. Remember, it's an Iranian ring of fire that surrounds Israel on all sides. This war is taking place on multiple fronts, not just Gaza. We see the groundwork being laid right now for that great northern war that we've talked about so much here on the newscast. It is coming, where Israel will be forced to face off in a major engagement against Hezbollah, the Iranian regime, and their various jihadist allies in Syria and in Lebanon. What you're seeing right now, folks, is just the pregame. I'm sad to say it's a question not of if, not of when, not of if I should say, I'm sorry, but when this engagement will happen, this great northern war where I believe Israel will decisively defeat Hezbollah and eliminate it as any sort of threat to the world's one and only Jewish state, just as Israel is doing right now with Hamas and Islamic Jihad to other Iranian proxies in Gaza. But no doubt, folks, these are the birth pangs in the run-up to a major showdown between Israel and Hezbollah, and by extension, Hezbollah's masters in Tehran, the Iranian regime. Everyone knows this. This is unsustainable. And Syria is going to be a major part of this. And we'll talk about the prophetic implications of that in a second. Everyone in the region knows this, that it is kind of a runaway train. It's heading towards a collision. The showdown is coming between Israel and Hezbollah. It's not hard to see. You can't have close to 100,000 Israelis evacuated from their homes in the north along the Lebanon border, never to return. They must return for the good of the nation, for the good of Israel's economy, its security, which means Hezbollah must be pushed back, and pushed back far from that Israel-Lebanon border. How far? How far is enough? We shall see. We've said the Litani River, that's been what people in the region have been saying. That's 18, 20 miles from that border. Hezbollah will never agree to that, folks, which means there's really no diplomatic solution here, which means Israel must, as Israeli leaders have been hinting very strongly in recent days, they must eventually face down Hezbollah in a major engagement. So the prophetic chess pieces are moving on the board, and in one major way, that's Damascus. The strike today was in the suburbs outside of Damascus. And every time we talk about Damascus here in the newscast, we get a million comments, and rightfully so, pointing out Isaiah 17, a prophecy, which predicts a day when Damascus will, in the words of the Bible, in the words of Isaiah 17, cease to be a city and become a ruinous heap. So pardon me if when things happen around Damascus, in and around Damascus, major events like we've been seeing, pardon me if myself and our very educated, very biblically literate Watchmen viewers say, whoa, hold the presses, this is big. No one wants to see it, obviously. Damascus, one of the world's oldest inhabited cities, and yet the Bible is very clear about it. And it's also very clear that Damascus has become a hornet's nest of anti-Israel terror. And you could see some sort of very foolish move on the part of this Iranian axis emanating from Damascus. It's been a transit point for Iranian weapons time and time again, advanced weapons in the past several years, to the point that Israel has shut down Damascus airport with strikes over the past 2 years. So folks, fasten your seatbelts. 2024 is going to be a very eventful year, and that's probably the understatement of this young year so far. One more quick thing to leave you with. The Ain Assad Air Base today attacked once again. U.S. soldiers reportedly injured in this attack, and Iranian proxies, no doubt, behind this attack. It apparently involved rockets, perhaps attack drones as well. But U.S. soldiers wounded in this attack in Iraq, Ain Assad Air Base, along with some Iraqi soldiers as well, reportedly. So the Iranian regime just continues with this steady, practically daily onslaught against U.S. soldiers in Syria and Iraq. Their goal is to duplicate Afghanistan, right? To chase U.S. soldiers out of the region, or at least to give the impression that they've chased U.S. soldiers out of the region. Folks, very perilous time, but want to come to you with just a quick update here. Keep all of this in prayer. Prayer works. We say that every day here on the Watchman Newscast. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the IDF, the people of Israel right now. Pray for the U.S. soldiers who are under the gun right now. Pray for wisdom among Israel's leaders and a spine of steel among Israel's leaders right now as they resist overwhelming world pressure, which we've been documenting in recent days here in the newscast, where the world inexplicably right now is pressuring Israel to agree to a Palestinian state. I don't know, call me crazy. Doesn't seem like the best timing for that. We'll talk about that more in the coming week, folks. Hey, enjoy your weekend. We'll follow all this closely. If there are any more breaking events, we'll come to you right back here tomorrow. Until next time, thanks so much for joining us. God bless you. And remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman Newscast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload, and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. And don't forget to share your thoughts, insights, and comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.